Okay, so over the last couple of days, it seems like Ironmouse has been getting a ton of hate and a ton of harassment over a lot of the Streamer Awards drama, though this obviously stems from multiple different things. For example, the first situation with the burnt peanut, where essentially she was congratulating him and saying that she was cringing at others, who were hating on him, despite the pretty horrible things that, she has said, he has said towards VTubers. And, obviously the most recent clip being him saying that they were 40-year-olds, pretending to be 15-year-old anime girls, which I thought was a very interesting comment to make, and obviously doesn't look good for anybody, and it also doesn't look good for Ironmouse, who's been defending him, and, we can clearly see how much he dislikes VTubers, and how much he dislikes the culture and everything like that. Yet obviously she still went and defended them, which has caused a lot of backlash, obviously from the VTuber community themselves, and obviously some people don't care. I don't really care at the end of the day. I think she's just trying to, be popular with everybody, and obviously the common sentiment is that she's essentially just trying to be, too nice. I think she's trying to be too nice, and obviously that has ended up in the situation that she's in from being too nice, right? Now, obviously there's also the situation as well where she talked about her kind of interactions with Rakai and Ray at the Stream Awards, saying that it made her uncomfortable, and obviously this caused her also a lot of hate as well, more so from the Rakai and Ray fans over the fact that she was, talking about it, despite the fact that she was just kind of giving context as to why she said certain things in an event, which was also picked up by VTuber fans, which they were pretty mad about as well, essentially saying, I'm a VTuber, of course I'm ugly, duh. That's what she said, and she was trying to explain why she said it and why, that came out. And obviously, yeah, it was due to the fact that she said that she felt uncomfortable. She just kind of wanted to get out of that situation, which, again, as I said, I think she can feel whatever way she wants about that, right? She can feel uncomfortable with it. And I think a lot of people that have been criticizing her, I think that, of course, like maybe you or me wouldn't feel uncomfortable by an interaction like that, but everybody's different whenever it comes to this kind of stuff. So I haven't been too harsh on that. And yeah, I do think that obviously she opened up the conversation quite a bit in terms of saying, like, you can ask me anything, and obviously they did ask her anything, but sometimes there are some social etiquette things too that maybe they should have followed. But it seems like Ironmouse has been facing a couple of repercussions on this, but not too bad as some people are making it out to be honest, because this was the post that I saw saying, for some reason, Ironmouse's newest video has a lot of dislikes. And yeah, it seems like it does have a lot of dislikes. You can see here it has 1.6 to 1.5k dislikes. Obviously, people saying it's so annoying. She doesn't deserve any of it. And yeah, obviously, they're saying for some reason, obviously we know why. Obviously, we've got Sherlock Holmes here in the comments here saying, it's probably because of the recent Streamer Wars drama. Yeah, of course it is. Right, and yeah, it seems like if you go to Ironmouse's channel, right, she's getting a lot of views and stuff still, but, she's, yeah, getting heavily dislike bombed, especially on this most recent one, where Sea-Dog takes her to some Las Vegas attraction, right, and also it seems to continue on her newest video, uploaded about 12 hours ago, with Camilla, which has over 341 likes. Not as many, but still quite a bit. And obviously, I think we can all see where this is coming from. This isn't coming from the VTuber audience. I doubt they would do that. I don't think they are going to dislike bomb videos. Maybe some people are getting involved in that, but I do think this is more so from the Rakai and Ray side of things and that kind of community, right? Because again, they're angry that, she said a couple of things about their favorite streamer. And yeah, because the one reason that kind of points me towards this is I looked at some other further analytics, right? Obviously, first of all, she still has a lot of likes in comparison to the dislikes. But if you look at stuff like her Twitch tracker or even her Social Blade as well, she's having some of the best times, she could possibly get, right? For example, December 11th, she had 14,000 viewers max. Obviously, I think this is during what, Game Awards or something? No, it wasn't even that. But yeah, had one of the best kind of streams, like 14k max viewers, as well as 1.2k followers, which I think is obviously pretty insane. She's been gaining and gaining followers. She's even gaining followers during a Warframe sponsor, which is pretty insane. She actually gained the most followers during a Warframe sponsor, as you can see here. Most of them came in. So again, people have been extremely excited by her kind of content. And this hasn't really affected her, I don't think. I don't think this has affected her in terms of VTubing or in terms of any kind of stuff in that community. Now, as I said, there were some people that were mad but I don't think this is like, yeah, affected her long term or anything, because she's still getting crazy numbers of followers and viewers every single day, right? You know, 1K with a new model debut. I think this was the IRL stream that actually turned out to be this video, right? People really enjoyed that. It's not like people disliked the video because they didn't like the video. As I said, 1,000 people ended up subscribing, and you can see this is very consistent throughout the entire stream. She's getting 30 followers, 20 followers, you know, tons of people coming in, and that's obviously partially from the recognition from the Stream Awards and everything like that as well. Obviously, say worst VTuber ever is here. I think that's after the Stream Awards, and yeah, it seems like, you know, she's been doing very, very great. We got even like the Elden Ring Marathon, where she gained over 1.4 thousand. Obviously, that's a 38-hour stream, which is pretty insane. Same with this one, 47 hours, she got 2.4, which kind of makes it even more kind of impressive that she managed to get 1.2k and 1k in just under 18 hours, which I think is pretty cool. And yeah, she's been gaining an insane amount of followers, and you can see even here, the amount of viewership is going up as well. So I think a lot of the stuff that has been going on at the moment is nothing to be of concern of in terms of, you know, metrics or anything like that. Obviously, she has been attacked by some dislike bombs, and that obviously sucks. You know, that sometimes comes with controversies and things, and people like to do that because it makes them feel better in terms of like, yeah, one of your videos has an extra dislike on it, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really do much. You know, dislikes are purely there now on, you know, YouTube to essentially let the creator know that they didn't like the video. That was it. That is literally it. It doesn't affect the algorithm in any way. It doesn't really affect anything. It's just like, oh, okay, it got some dislikes. And obviously it tells other people too, if they have the extension, that people didn't like the video. But again, I do think that this is pretty crazy. I think that a lot of people that have been disliking it are from outside of the community. And you can even tell as well why this is the case, because this has got 1.8k likes, right? And somehow, you know, 1.8k people appeared to dislike it too, whereas this one's got 1.6k likes and only 300 dislikes, because some people are forgetting, some people are getting bored, some people are going off and doing other things, because again, you know, they thought they would go and attack her for that one time, and then they just got bored and they want to go do something else, which, to be honest, I would kind of expect from a Rakai and Ray viewer. I mean, their content is very energetic. You know, I feel like they don't exactly have the patience and time to, you know, dislike every video that comes out from Ironmouse, right? So obviously that is the upside of it. And as I said, you know, I just kind of wanted to bring a little bit of clarity, as some people obviously were pointing out how much Ironmouse has been kind of, you know, dislike bombed, you know, saying her and Doki seem to be such good beacons for animosity. It's unreal. They never did anything. They don't promote scams. They don't go out of their way to harass, lie, cheat, or steal, or anything. Big creators do, but still get a pass when these guys have an opinion. Dear God, it's like they shot a baby or something, which, yeah, obviously, it's pretty interesting. They say it's because they piss off big creators that do this kind of stuff, and bullies will bully when you say things about them. And yeah, obviously, people said Dokibot or Chibidoki, just said yes. Happy Cake Day. So you can add Bao to that list. Holy, she can't catch a break. Which, yeah, Bao is another one that was also, you know, heavily under fire, and I can understand why she's under fire. She kept on having some bad tweets, I would say. I think that obviously, yeah, she didn't really deserve to be harassed to the point that she did, and the same goes to, you know, Ironmouse and a lot of people that get harassed over this kind of stuff, right? Some people have some bad moments, and unfortunately, you know, a lot of people like to strike upon that and like to kind of take their opportunity when they can, right? They say there's a period after each Stream Awards where she is harassed by kids and losers. It then falls off after a week or two. It's pathetic, but it's almost a tradition at this point, which is true, right? Not just the Stream Awards as well. We've had it with the Game Awards too. Ironmouse won the Game Awards, and obviously a lot of people were going and attacking her because she won the Game Awards, which I thought was pretty interesting too. So again, literally any kind of like normie event, right, that essentially Ironmouse or any other VTuber wins, you can expect a slew of hate and harassment to go that way, just due to the fact that people can't understand VTubers or whatever at the moment, which again, I think it's fine if, you know, I'm not saying that everybody needs to understand VTubers, but I think at the very least, you just gotta have the common decency not to like attack them or harass them or do all of this awful stuff, because again, obviously you can see it does affect them And yeah, it's not exactly the best of times for the VTuber, but also for the community itself as well. You know, people said she's been attacked by Peanut's community, and when she talked about her experience with Flash streamers the other day, their communities have joined Peanut's attacking VTuber communities, which again, also, I think, yeah, that is also another thing. Obviously, I mentioned Ray and Rakai's community. While I do still think that is them as well, this is also probably, yeah, a mix of Peanut as well. And a lot of people, again, I think it is a whole mix of people in terms of who has disliked these videos and who has disliked bombing them. I think it is a mix of the Ray and Rakai community. I think it is the mix of the Peanut community. I think it's also a mix of some of the VTuber community who are still mad at some of the comments that she's made. Again, obviously, I understand why they're mad at those comments that she made. But yeah, obviously, I don't think it warrants a dislike bomb, I'm going to be honest. But yeah, obviously, it seems like that is what is going on with her channel at the moment. But again, as I said, she's doing fine in terms of stream metrics. She's doing fine in terms of everything else. So don't worry too much about this if you are worrying about it. And yeah, hopefully things do get better for Ironmouse though in the future. But yeah, that's essentially what I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also go to GameSubs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.